Welcome back to the Wired Show, everybody. I'm Diana.
I'm Samara.
And this is, I think, our 4th week of Wired, which means we've been doing this for a month now.
Ooh, fun.
Actually, I feel like we've done it more than a month because our first 2, there was a time gap between 2 weeks because I didn't send it in on time, but we've been probably doing this about a month and a half now. I don't know when we started. So yeah. So basically, we're going to be talking about a bunch of Halloween topics. I know everybody talked about all their Halloween stuff in last week's broadcast, but we're not with the trends. We're not those people. So we're going to be talking about a bunch of Halloween stuff. And also, Halloween happened last week. So we're going to talk about that. So yeah, but first we need to talk about the topic that's trending right now, which is the election. Obviously, we have to talk about that. You can't not talk about the election. So, how much of it did you watch?
See, for me, I don't want to know much until every vote is counted because I don't want any false claims that someone won when they didn't. I don't want to look at anything until it's truly finalized. You know, so I can be realistic about my expectations.
Yeah.
Because let's just be honest right now, whichever way this election swings, there is going...
Yeah.
We're not going to get into it.
Yeah, you completely froze. So, just repeat what you said because you froze halfway in between whatever you said.
I just said, I just want everything to be finalized, so I just know everything.
Yeah.
And also, I just said whatever way this thing swings, especially with our state, because our state is one of the more important states, because we're a swing state, I think whoever wins, it's going to be an uproar. But probably more depending on who wins, but definitely there'll be something. There'll be something to expect.
Yeah, it was on my TV the whole evening till 11 o'clock. I left for an hour, and I was like, I'm not going to be watching this. I'm going to go do something else. And then I had it on from at least 7 to 11 o'clock. I was the last person up in my house watching it, but then I was just like, I'm too tired. I need to go to bed. I don't have time to watch all this.
Yeah, and also I just feel like, it's too stressful to be watching something when it's just projections at this point.
Yeah.
These are just projections. They don't actually know anything because not all the ballots are counted.
Yeah,
people literally just voted yesterday.
Yeah, there's so much time in between projections. Okay, so me and my sister, we printed out this whole entire little map. Well, she printed it out, and we're coloring all of the states in, because why not? It's our first, it's my first election, so I want to have documentation of it. So I'm going to keep this. But we started doing it, and there's an hour where there were no projections. We were just sitting there. We're like, come on, can we get another projection? I want to color in more states. Come on. And
it's gonna take It's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
Because especially with our state, you don't know. We are one of the important states, so they're really counting all of these. It's gonna take probably a week or two to really get anything.
Yeah. So the last thing that I remembered when I went to bed, it was Biden had California, Washington, Oregon. That was the last projections. And then I went to bed. And then I woke up, and then there's only, I think, 6 states left that need to figure out their votes still, including our state. Of course, our state freaking needs to figure... I'm kind of annoyed. Can our state just, finalize our decision? I just want the results for our state. I don't really care about all the other states' results, but I just want our state's results.
But the reason our state has the harder problems because some states are obviously on one side or another. Like
Yes.
California is obviously going to vote for Biden because they're going to vote Democrat all the time. Some, like Florida, got Trump. That's obvious because Florida is mostly Republican. So it's the obvious states that swing.
Yeah.
Are not going to pick, like Pennsylvania can go either way.
Yeah.
Because you have the Democratic cities, you have Philadelphia, which is strictly Democratic, and then you have other areas of Pennsylvania that are more Republican, then you have some moderate people.
I think we just have left Wisconsin, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Alaska, and Nevada. Those are the only 6. And so if either person gets Nevada, Minnesota, or Wisconsin, or PA, then they'll get it. If they get, like, at least 3 of them, if they get all 3 of them, then they're going to win. Whoever candidate.
Yeah.
And PA's, I don't even know. We're only, like, 40% in of the voting. Like, Georgia's, like, 96% in. Everybody else is, like, 95, 96. Alaska's, like, 30% in. And then you just have PA that's, like, 45% in. I'm like, can we hurry up this process? I want to know the results from my state.
Yeah, because, see, I turned in my ballot, because I voted early. I turned it in, I think, on Sunday.
Yeah.
So, did you vote early? Did you go to the polls?
I voted early, but I had to stand in line because my dad didn't get a mail-in ballot yet. So we stood in line with him the whole time. So then I ended up standing in line for about an hour and a half, waiting with him.
How was it? Where did you go?
I went to somewhere in Norristown. I don't know where.
Was it the tech school?
No, it wasn't the tech school. It was like I don't even know what it was. I don't know.
Can you describe it? Because I probably know.
I don't know. There's like a giant building in the back. I don't know how to describe it. Like, the place was under construction where I went. Like, the front was being constructed. Okay, well, I was there. I was in line for an hour and a half. And then I had to sit there and wait for them to make my dad's ballot. And then I put mine in. But I was, like, completely bored out of my mind. They're like, oh, if you have your mail-in ballot, you can fill it out. So I was just, standing and I was filling mine out. I was like, ooh, this is exciting.
Yeah. Did you get a sticker?
Yeah, I got a sticker. It's on my dresser.
I didn't get one.
You didn't get one?
I'm upset. No, because I voted early, so I guess you don't get one when you go early. Or at least the place I went to drop it off, they didn't.
Oh. They had, like, they let 5 people in at a time, so I was in there for waiting at least an hour and a half in line. It was like waiting in line.
How was the line?
It was pretty long. When I got there, it was all the way wrapped around all the way to the back of the place. So I was there and the people were like, oh, if you have your mail-in ballot, like, you don't have to stand in this line. And we were waiting for my dad because he needed to do his, and we were waiting because he didn't have his driver's license, so we had to go home and get that. And we're just waiting in line. They're like, oh, you don't need to wait in line if you're doing mail-in ballots. We're like, we know, we're waiting for somebody else. We're keeping their spot in line so that we don't have to stay here for another 2 hours waiting in line. Imagine the people that went, like, because most polls closed at, like, 8 or 9 or 10. Like, imagine if they went the day of. How long the lines would be and the process of that.
Yeah, because this, with the polling places and COVID, it's like, it's crazy. And especially because I was hearing, like, some states were having trouble because some people try to do, like, voter intimidation and such. That's why I was asking, because, some people, they're crazy. I'm just like, look, that's why I can't. That's not also because we're in a pandemic. I didn't go.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you have to go to the polls, people should, and they should not be scared to go because you don't know what they're voting for.
Yeah. When I went, there's like this group of people waiting in line, and every time someone came out, they would be like, And everyone's like, cheer! Cheer for them! I was like, they voted. This one person, I don't know what. Like, I don't even know what. He, like, walked on, he was like, woo! When he voted, I'm like, dude, like, it's not your first time voting. I was probably the youngest person in that line, besides, like, the kids of, like, people's, like, parents' kids and adults' kids.
But considering how many people did not vote in 2016, we could assume that some of these people are excited because either they didn't vote last election or they're just happy to vote this year.
Yeah. We were at that prime time that once we turned 18, it was our first time to vote. Some people, like, if you're, like, 19 or 20, you have to wait. But no. As soon as we turned 18, we were, like, election was happening right now.
Yeah. I'm 19, so, like...
Yeah, you're 19. I'm 18 still, so, yeah. But just being in that time phase...
You're still old enough to vote.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I got a chance to vote, at least in this election.
Yes.
You know, I wish I could have voted in last election, too, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's fine. Cool. This one is more historical, so...
Yeah.
Because let's just face it, this one is the most important one.
Yes.
Because this one truly actually defines what will happen. Because let's face it, this pandemic is going to change everything. I was going to ask you this. Do you think things are going to be like it was last year and the years before? Do you think the pandemic is going to change everything?
I think the pandemic is going to change something. I just want the pandemic to be over with.
Yeah, but what do you think is going? Do you think the world is going to go back to normal?
I don't think it's going to go back to normal.
Pandemic's over?
I think it's not going to go back to normal. I think people are still going to be very hesitant about going to, like, concerts and, like, football games and event like that. I feel like is going to take a while, but I feel like just, like, hanging out with friends or, like, going to the movie and stuff like that, people are going to be fine with that. But, like, big events like concerts or, like, festivals or sports games, I feel like that's going to take more time for people to adjust to and get out of being afraid of, you know, what's going on.
Yeah.
It might take years.
What I hope is that, what I hope, though, is that people now take public health seriously. Like, I think we should wear more masks after this pandemic. Like just regular flu season. After we have the vaccine for COVID and we're good, just in general flu season, I want to see people wear masks. Like, if you're sick, if you're coughing or sneezing, wear a mask. I just want that to be normalized.
Yeah.
Because I realized, looking back on it, we were not doing too good. Like, I remember being in school, and I would be sick, just coughing and sneezing, and that I could have been there if I had a mask, because I could have protected people.
I was never sick. I never get sick in school ever. I that's just me. So I was fine, but, like, all the other counties in our area and all the other schools were closing, and our school was the one school that was open still. I don't know why we didn't...
Are you talking about for COVID?
Yeah.
Like, when March hit? Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure, like, people, like, what was it? Like, the Germantown... No, that's not what it's called. The Friends School, wherever it is, that's really close to PW. They closed. And we were still open. And I'm like, they're, like, a street down from us.
But then, isn't that how it always is? It's always PW the last school to do everything?
Yes, I feel like it is.
Because let's face it, like, they can't make even a simple decision on whether or not to bring the kids back to school or not.
Yeah.
Or whether or not the kids can play sports.
Yeah.
It's, like, ridiculous. You know, at least, I know, like, some high schools, they have a clear idea. You're not coming back until January 2021. Like, some schools just said that point blank in the summer. And then you have PW who's just like, I don't know, we're going to try hybrid. And I'm just like, really? You're going to try hybrid?
Good luck.
You remember walking in the hallways, right?
Yeah.
There's, like, you're, like, up against a wall because it's, like, so many kids next to you. Even half the student body is too much.
The science wing and the bridge. The most packed areas.
Yeah.
that whole area. It's impossible to get to any of the music rooms if you're going to like Cooper or Kaufman
Yeah.
or Darowitz because they're like,
unless one hits someone.
or like what McWilliams, because those classes are just like right in the middle of the bridge.
Yeah. Unless you want to hit someone.
And
You will.
I often had a hard time just trying to get to that class.
Yeah. Or getting out.
Or getting out of that class. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Halloween topics. So, like, what do you want to talk about first?
Okay.
Like, our experiences, marching band, Halloween dances, how we met, or, you know, like, what do you want to talk about first?
Let's just talk about what we did this year.
Okay.
So, for me, I did what I normally do, which is I sit in my house, and pretty much that's it. Like, that's all I did, just sit in my house. I mean, that's all you can do right now anyway.
Yeah, I did homework for the most part. And then it got like 5 o'clock, 5:30. I was finishing up and I had showered. And I was like, oh shoot, kids are going to be coming in like a half hour. So, like, my family, we put like candies in like a Ziploc bag each to hand to kids. And at first, I handed it out to like my 5 neighborhood kids that are like in the area. They're like next door and across the street from me. I handed it out to them, but then we just eventually just decided to just put a bucket out there and check on it every like 30 minutes and just have kids coming in to take it. And I don't know how many kids showed up because I didn't look, but it seemed like there wasn't that many that showed up.
Yeah, and that's probably for the best because it's like the transfer of candy is the biggest problem with Halloween right now. Like you can't just simply just have kids just grab candy during a pandemic and make sure it's hygienic, you know?
Yeah.
And also it's the aspect of like, are the kids wearing masks? Are the parents wearing masks?
Oh, the kids. I don't think they were wearing masks when I went. I don't think my neighbors were at all. I don't remember if they were. I don't think they were.
Because kids over the age of, I think you have to wear, if you're a kid, you have to be over the age of like 2 or 3.
Yeah, they're older than that. They're like 8.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if you're a baby, you're fine.
Their costumes were interesting. I'll tell you that. One of them was Harley
What
Quinn.
were they?
One of them was Harley Quinn and had like booty shorts.
Oh no.
And then the other one was Annabelle. Her sister was Annabelle.
Okay, that's cute.
And then one of them was a baseball player, her friend, which is my neighbor across the street. And then the other one was Pikachu. And I was like, yes, I live for the Pikachu. You be that Pikachu.
Yeah.
But like, one of them was Harley Quinn and booty shorts. And my mom's like, I would never let you go out of the house with that. Like, I love them. No hate to their parenting skills or their parents, but like their parents, I just don't really care what their kids do.
Yeah, these kids, some of these kids, I just like, I don't know how or why, but it's like, I just don't get it. Like, these kids, it's just like, I'm not gonna say that when I was 8 or when you and I were 8 years old, there weren't kids wearing booty shorts to school or stuff. There were.
Yeah.
But it's not appropriate. Like, I don't get why, especially now, you see, like, a lot more younger kids doing that.
Yeah.
I think it's because of what they're watching. Like, it's like YouTube, TikTok. They're watching people who are, like, twice their age, who are, like, our age, who are old enough to wear that stuff, and they think they can.
Yeah, it's just the generation today. It's just the whole technology phase. Just kids are jumping on all platforms. I don't know why, when some of them are way too young to be on TikTok and on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, we were watching like American Girl doll videos when we were like 8 or 9. And now kids nowadays are just watching like TikTok videos, or they'll be watching like Jake Paul or like Logan Paul or like who's the other person? Preston Plays, or like they'll be watching those people.
Yeah, and some of these people that these kids watch on YouTube, I've seen their videos before. They're not, like, I can't explain it. Like, it's not bad content. It's just it's damaging to kids. Like, I swear, some of the stuff they're promoting is it's either overly sexualized. It's not for children. Let's
Yeah.
just say that it's not for children.
When you're editing a video in the settings, it says, "Is this being made for kids? Yes or no?" And like you can hit yes or no. And I hit no because if it is for kids, then they make you like you don't have ads or they like take parts of your video. So I just said no for kids. But obviously, kids are just gonna not listen to that and they're just gonna click on it and just do
Yeah.
whatever with it.
And the problem is they do have like a YouTube Kids app, but there's not enough kids on that app. The kids are using normal YouTube.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
And they're watching this content that is made by people who are like in their 20s or our age. And the normal content that you and I watch are people who curse, people who talk about like sexual stuff, people who make dark humor.
Yeah.
That's not for 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's not for 5-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why they're on that.
And yeah.
Alright, next Halloween topic. What do we want to talk about next? Because we have so much Halloween topics we can talk about.
Let's talk about like some nostalgia stuff.
Okay.
Let's talk about, what did you grow up like watching for Halloween? Like
on my TV it was always Charlie Brown. The freaking Charlie Brown special was always on my TV. That's the only thing I really remember watching. I'm pretty sure I watched stuff on Disney Channel that was Halloween related stuff. Like,
yeah,
what are some of the Disney Halloween movies that were out?
Halloween Town.
Yeah. I watched stuff like
Witches.
Yeah.
They have what else? There's other stuff. Like, you know how they would have the Halloween specials for all the shows?
Yeah. Oh yeah, on Disney Channel they'll be like, check out for the brand new Good Luck Charlie Halloween special edition.
Yeah. My favorite was Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. That one was my favorite.
Yeah.
And then my favorite one, Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
One where she had an evil cousin, and then they switched bodies. No, they didn't switch bodies. They just like switched clothes.
Yeah.
So they were identical.
Mhm.
And then also, I loved watching the Ant Farm holiday specials.
Oh my god. That's an underrated show.
Yeah, you know, it is. I don't get it.
That's an underrated show, but like I watched it. I watched it. I know what it is. But like nowadays, for Halloween, I know I watched.
Age act like they never.
What?
I don't get why with people our age they act like they've never seen it before.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You froze, so I don't know what you said, but you just said it. Okay. Recently I just watched Halloween movies. Like I watched a Halloween movie. It wasn't even a Halloween movie. It was called Black Christmas, where basically it was like some like sorority in college that was just like killing everybody. I watched that.
Oh, I've heard of it.
And like I've watched Halloween with Michael Myers. I don't know which one I watched. I watched one of those. I've watched Scary Movie. I feel like I've watched the first two, I think. And a few others. What other Halloween movies are there? Oh, what was it? I watched this one thing. What was it with Adam Sandler? It was Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, I heard of it.
I watched that for a youth group watching movie. I watched that, but yeah, that was the only two things I watched over Halloween. I didn't really watch anything else.
Yeah, it's hard for me to like get in the Halloween spirit because it's not my favorite holiday. I'm more of a Christmas person.
Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of like I'm trying to breeze past Halloween to get to Christmas. One thing, okay, I'll say a little. I hate when people say that, oh, it's not Christmas yet. Why are you listening to Christmas music in November? But I'm like, the minute September starts, people who love Halloween wants to go, oh, it's spooky season, yay!
As soon as Halloween ends, they skip Thanksgiving, go straight to Christmas.
Yeah, during Thanksgiving. Like, who is, like, Thanksgiving's an eating holiday. You just
It's
eat
just
there.
where you eat.
That's all you do. Yeah. Eat and argue with your family. That's it.
Yeah.
But I hate that because it's like, Christmas people deserve 2 months to celebrate. If Halloween people want to take up September and make it a part of their spooky season, can we have the Christmas season start in November 1st and just let us be happy? Just let us be happy.
Yeah. My dad said that he heard his first Christmas song on the radio. I don't know what station it was, but they were playing Frosty the Snowman. I'm like, oh, here we go with Christmas music. We're starting with Christmas music already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't heard any myself, but I feel like
Yeah, me neither.
it's gonna start within.
Yeah. I
Usually what?
usually start in the middle of November.
Yeah.
Just to ease myself into it.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Alright. So, what else do we want to talk about? We already talked about Halloween movies. We talked about our Halloween experiences. Did you ever dress up, or did you not ever dress up and go? Did you ever dress up, or no?
No.
No?
Not really. Like, no.
No? Okay, cool. We could always talk about marching band for the longest time. Or we can talk about the Halloween dance and how we met. Whichever one you want to do first. Which one you want to do first?
I think we should talk about how we met.
Okay. So every year we have homecoming week, which is like the first or second week in October. And usually at the very end we have our homecoming dance, and ours is always a Halloween dance. It's not like a homecoming dance where you go to a date. Yeah, it's always a costume Halloween party, and they don't let you in unless you have a costume. So, actually, I guess one of our friends, because she's both our friend, basically, I don't even know what she did, but I guess she brought you over.
Yeah.
In the middle of it.
I think we went together. That's the thing. I think she picked me up and we went together.
Yeah, I don't really remember the whole entire thing because it was years ago, but I remember taking a picture with it. We took a picture.
You didn't know who I was.
No, because you were new, and I barely knew my friend at the time because she was also new. So I was just like, oh, she's hanging out with friends from her old school. Like, that's cool. You're on mute.
Yeah, I had to cough, and I didn't want to disrupt the sound.
Yeah, I don't really remember much of it, but I know we took a picture, and I know we talked, I think, but I don't really...
I remember, you were busy on your phone doing something, and I remember she like, stopped you, and she's like, Diana, this is my friend Samara, and you were like, oh, hi.
I'm always on my phone. When am I not on my phone? But I don't think... My phone was terrible in 9th grade. I don't know why I was on my phone.
Yeah,
I think I was on my phone because I was just taking selfies with everybody. And, like, looking at all my...
We mostly just sat. We sat there for the rest of the night. We didn't dance.
Oh! Yes! Yes! Yes, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yes, we had, like, tables. And we just sat at tables. I know... our friend, she brought her boyfriend, and she was just with her boyfriend the whole time. And then, were you at the table as well? Both of us were at the table?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know anyone, so I was just there.
I don't remember who else was at the table, but, like, she was busy with him, so I guess we just started talking to each other. Like, first year, we did not dance at all. Like, all the other years, I feel like I danced way more, but the first year, I feel like I just sat at a table for, like, 40 minutes and did nothing.
Yeah. For me, I didn't dance the first year, but from sophomore year to senior year, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't go junior year because that fell on a marching band occasion. Remember junior year?
Yeah.
on the same day as our marching band competition.
Yeah, so we had cavalcade for this. So people who don't know, cavalcade, it's basically just a giant band competition where they all compete, all marching bands compete, and they have awards. And I think this was
Yeah.
the first year that our school has hosted it. And so we
Yeah.
were required to be there all day for the most part. We came in super early and we were there. We got jobs to do, like directing people and stuff like that. And then I don't know when it ended, but we ended up being, I think, an hour late into the dance. Because we had to change because we were required to wear our costumes. And we're all like, oh, why don't we just wear our marching band costumes to the party? Like,
yeah. But the problem was, I would have gone if it were at the school. That was the one time they took it to the 4-5 school, which was up the street.
Yeah.
So I wasn't into walking up to the 4-5 school after doing a whole day of marching band. If it were at the school in the cafeteria, I would have done it, or in the gym, because the gym was on at that time.
I don't know what our marching band director was thinking. I don't know why he planned that day, but I remember specifically.
No, it was the athletic director. He planned the dance on that day.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
The thing was, the cavalcade was already scheduled, but the school dance, they moved it to the same day because they moved homecoming week the same week of our cavalcade. That was later.
Yeah.
That was the one year where they did it in like November instead of in early October.
Yeah.
And then what they did is they wanted it in the gym because the gym was done.
Yeah,
the gym floor to be ruined.
So then they moved to the 4-5 school. I remember all my friends were texting me and I was in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, I'm changing right now. Like, I'll be there in like 5-10 minutes. And then I realized I have to walk.
Yeah.
Most people like either like drove or they had their friends pick them up. I walked all the way over to the 4-5 school in a cat onesie. I was sweating in the dark and I was sweating the whole time and I walked in and I was already kind of pissed that I was already late. It was like the whole marching band squad pulled up and they're like, hey, we're like, hey. Some people, like, I walked in and some people were already there and I'm like, how did they get there that fast? Like, I don't.
Because I think they had a car.
They had a car?
Yeah, some of them had a car.
Yeah, okay, so.
They just packed themselves in there.
Alright, so costumes. My costume, what was your costumes every single year at the dance?
First year, I don't know what the hell I was wearing. I was wearing a magician's, I guess I was a magician, you could say. I had a mask on, though.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second year, sophomore year, I was in my cow onesie.
Yeah.
Then for senior year...
Oh, I remember the cow onesie. That was the best one.
Yeah. It had udders and everything.
That was the best one.
And for the dance our senior year, I wore enough ridiculous items so I could get a discounted ticket. So I didn't have to pay extra for not wearing a costume.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't think of what to actually, like, wear. So I just wore ridiculous items so I could get that discounted ticket.
I don't even know if I remember all mine. I know freshman year I did Pink Ladies and I had like a whole photo shoot with my friends. I know every year I would have a whole photo shoot. All the parents would be there. They would take pictures of our costume. We'd have a whole photo shoot like a whole half hour before and we would roll in together. And then sophomore year? What was I sophomore year? I don't remember what I was sophomore year. I think I was 80s, but I don't remember if I was. I don't remember what I was sophomore year.
You were.
I was? Okay.
You were.
And then junior year, I went as a cat because we had cavalcade, and I was too tired to put on another costume. I literally still had my makeup on from cavalcade. I didn't care. And then...
You had all the...
Yeah, I had blue eyeshadow on, I think, and I just didn't care because I was not going to spend another 5 minutes trying to take off my makeup when I'm already an hour late into this party. Like, I was so exhausted.
You remember in marching band when we had to put on that for our eyes? and would never go off.
Oh, the
Never come off.
diamonds? The diamonds?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. And then sophomore year, I was Queen of Hearts because we did Alice in Wonderland theme. But the diamonds that we had on our face, so basically it was a circus theme. And what we did was we had diamonds and they were painted different colors. It was either green, yellow, pink, or blue. And it would be like on our whole entire eye. It would be from like our nose all the way up to like our forehead on whatever side it was. And I remember they would draw the outline of it and we would fill it in, but taking that off took probably forever.
Because it had glitter, and also whatever they bought was like that type of paint that just stick to your face. It was really sticky, and it wouldn't rub off. Like, you would need makeup wipes for that, or else it would stay on like permanently.
No, I would use makeup wipes, and I would go through at least 3 or 4, and it still wouldn't come off. It was like fully on there. Like, if that happened to be our cavalcade and we went to a Halloween dance, I would just go like that. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't have spent that much time if that would have happened. If that was the case. But that was terrible. And then, like, we had different costume colors, and then we had a different color bow and a different color diamond. Yeah. So, my set was pink was my outfit. I think orange or purple was my
diamond.
My diamond was blue, and my bow was either orange or purple. I don't remember what color it was. What was yours?
And I was yellow.
Yeah.
And my bow was orange.
Oh, your bow was orange. Then I don't remember what color was my bow. Oh, it's blue. No, it wasn't blue because it was purple. Okay, good. I don't remember what color it was, but it had to be different colors. I don't know why we went with that theme, that our bow had to be a different color from our costume and our diamond had to be a different color from our outfit, because it just didn't match at all. Yeah. So, I guess we could just always talk about Halloween parades for probably the longest time.
They were probably the most fun, I will say.
I don't really remember them my first couple of years, but I kind of remember the most recent ones in the past couple of years.
Oh my god, the last one we did.
Oh my
senior year.
God.
Remember we did it on that mini little elementary school trail, and there was this one guy who literally walked in front of us, across us, while we were marching, spinning our flag.
Yeah. First of all, it was raining. We went to Plymouth Elementary, and we couldn't do a little show or performance because they wouldn't let the kids do that because it was raining. So they just, like, walked around. And then, did we go to Conshohocken next? Or did we go to the mall?
Did we go to all 3.
Did we go to the mall? We went to the mall after Plymouth Elementary. And then did we go to where did we go? Conshohocken after that, or was it Ridge Park? What school did we go to after that?
We went to Conshohocken. We didn't go to the one in Plymouth Meeting.
Huh? We didn't go to
We didn't go to the one near the mall. No, we went to the one near the mall. We went to Conshohocken. We didn't go to the other one.
Okay, so we went to Conshohocken, and it was raining. They put us on, like, their playground. It was pouring rain.
Yeah, we were inside.
Yeah, eventually I don't even, were the kids even walking? I don't remember what we did, but there was a whole break time between the time we got there and when the parade started. It was like a good 30 minutes, and we couldn't have our phones on us or anything. And he wouldn't let us go on any of the freaking jungle gym or anything.
Yeah, because it was wet.
Because it was wet. So I remember at one point we were literally playing hopscotch with a rock for 20 minutes because we had nothing else to do. We couldn't be on our phones. We couldn't go on any of the swings or any of the stuff. Some kids were just running laps around stuff, and he yelled at them because they were running. I'm like, what do you want us to do? We can't do anything. So like,
But then also the band kids are gonna do a band kids do, which is like, you know,
okay,
off the wall type of, you know.
yeah, we couldn't even spin either. We didn't like literally all the marching band people, all the band people would be playing and practicing for like 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm tired of hearing this song. But we had nothing to do, so we just played. It was like 5 or 6 of us just played hopscotch the whole time because we had nothing to do. And we
Yeah.
had a performance. No, I was kind of mad because um every year the seniors did like a little performance where they like demonstrate tosses, and I don't know if that happened. Did that
Yeah,
happen?
'cause it was raining, so we couldn't do it.
And I was kind of pissed because I waited 4 years for that, and I was like, oh, I want to show off, like a pullet toss or a wind up toss or any one of those. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what toss he would assign to who, but I was excited for it. Um,
Yeah, I think you can sum up our senior year as us always wanting to do this and then it just not happening.
yeah. Um, the best part is probably driving on the way there because the whole group just jams out to music. Is it the guard and the percussion are on one bus and then the band's on the other bus. So like the percussion and the guard, they're like close. We're like tight. So we would be playing like tons of music. I think one year we did greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ham, corn, chicken, and we play that for just like 10 minutes straight. And then like one year like we had people like beatboxing and drumming and we were like rapping stuff on the way there.
Yeah.
The ride there was fun. The performance. Oh, I remember. What was it? Senior year, we just had to stand there. We weren't even marching. We just stood there, and the band was playing behind us, and we had to just stand there and spin. I'm like, they're not gonna be watching us.
Yeah. Also, yeah, my favorite part was the mall.
Yes.
Because we could eat food. I could get food.
Yeah, we had to wear our marching band costumes, and people
we
would.
had our jackets, so it was fine.
But like still, you could see like we had like spandex leggings as well. But it was like all of us, everybody went to Chick-fil-A or Chipotle.
Yeah, basic. We're all basic.
And I remember like, oh, we need to book it. We need to go.
The guard was always late. There was always someone in our guard who was always late to the bus, and I think I was always in that group of people.
Yeah. Or no, not even that. I was thinking about like when we're like loading up the bus and they're taking attendance and there's always like 3 people in the bathroom still getting ready. And I'm like, can we leave? I know, it was the guard. I'm like, can we leave? I want to, like, come on. Like, why are you still getting ready?
You would always be on the bus. You and the people you hung out with were always on the bus. It was just me and the other people just always late because we were always in the bathroom. And then like maybe one person from the pit or from drumline with us.
Oh my gosh, at one point they're like, oh, you have to double up and stuff like that. So like one year I think I had to double up with the percussion person and they have their like instrument in between us and I was like, great.
Double up like on the bus?
Like on the bus, yeah, because they're like, oh, like the guard, sit next to each other. And so like I ended up being next to some percussion person at some point because they didn't have enough seats and they had like their instrument next to them or on the ground. I was just like, great, I can't escape. I'm stuck on this bus ride with this person for 30 minutes. But yeah, like the mall is always the best part. Yeah, I don't really know. Spinning always I don't know why we always go to Conshohocken, right?
Yeah.
We always go to Conshohocken, and I don't know why because their streets are probably the most crowded streets and the worst streets that we have ever spun on. Like it's terrible.
Thing is, it's not an official parade.
It's not.
That's why there's cars in the street because it's not an official parade.
Well,
but
yeah.
You would think that this happens every year. You would think that if there are going to be people walking down the street with 6-foot flagpoles swinging near your car, maybe you would want to move it just a little bit.
Yeah, what was it? They have like cop cars and fire trucks directing the front of us Like, remember, like, we were behind, like, we'd always be behind a cop car, and we would
Mhm.
be spinning. So, like, it's kind of official, but it's not, because people just don't move. Like, I don't know where these
Because they don't block off streets.
people just sit out on their freaking houses, and they sit in lawn chairs, or they're just on the sidewalk, and they're like on their phone. They're like, yeah, and I'm like, shut up! I'm trying to spin. Don't distract me.
Yeah. It's the lack of spatial awareness for me because you see that you are 2 inches away from me, and I'm swinging a flagpole, and you're just there with your baby, with your cell phone. Do not see any problem with that.
Surprised you didn't smack a baby.
I'm surprised too. I'm surprised I didn't hit any kids. I'm surprised.
You hit me.
Very surprised.
You hit me, but you didn't hit a baby.
I think me cutting you with a flag is a lot different than me hitting a baby. I feel like the baby would have died if I actually hit them.
They're like, oh, like, what was it? At
I've
one point, we had to stagger. At one point, we had to stagger line.
Yeah, because Diane, I knew you were going to be fine. I mean, I've seen you literally toss a flag in the wind and have it hit you in the face. And you were like, I'm fine.
I mean, I kind of am just like, I guess I kind of have a pain tolerance because I've broken my arm 3 times. So I'm just like, okay, it's whatever.
How are you able to do guard if you broke your arm 3 times?
I don't know. So I broke my left arm 3 times, which is my arm that I use to write and basically do everything. And I broke it when I was 3, 4, and I was 7. And so they're like, oh, if your arm breaks one more time, like, your arm's gonna be shorter than the other. But it's still the same length. But I don't know how I function.
It's probably for the best.
I don't know how I function.
It's a good thing that guard mostly requires you to use your right arm. Because, I mean...
Yeah, my right arm's my stronger arm. Whenever we do lifting, I always lift on this side. When we have to carry flag bags, I always lift on my right side because I know my left arm is not the best still, but I use it for everything. But I'm way stronger in my right arm than my left arm because we do right shoulder, and you're just standing there for like 10, 15 minutes. Oh, the parade routine that we learn, it's just great.
Yeah.
And then
I would love to do a parade again, so hopefully after this pandemic they have like the alumni thing where we can go back and do a parade.
Oh god.
In like July or something.
Oh god. That was
Give me that baton.
I want to do a baton. I don't care. I want to spin a baton.
It is not fair. You cheated me out of that. I have been asking for 4 years if you had a baton. If this guard did baton. I would have been so much better at tossing a 1-foot baton than a 6-foot flagpole.
Yeah, like, I went to the meeting, and there's, like, some other people, and they had, like, a whole group of batons. I'm like, what? I want to be in that group. Can you teach me? I don't want to be the flag line group. Literally, I had to teach all the people the flag parade work, because nobody knew the parade work except for me and one other person that I think went.
Then what did the other person do if you were teaching them the flag choreography?
What do you mean?
You said one other person.
We were both teaching them. We were both teaching them, but there was like 3 or 4 people. So like I would take I had like a man in his like 50s, and I was teaching the flag routine, and he didn't understand anything of it. He's like, oh, do we go on 1 or do we go on 2? And I'm like, no, you wait 16, then you do the first set for 16, then you wait another 16.
Wait. Why was there some random 50-year-old dude in there? Did he do guard before?
Yes, he was an alumni, but I don't know if he was 50, but there was like alumni that were like in their like 40s or like their 50s. They haven't touched a flag in like years, so they picked it up and they're like, oh, I don't know any of this stuff anymore. And like, honestly,
me when I pick up a flag again.
And they're like, oh, teach them the parade routine. I'm like, I'm not even great with the parade routine myself, but sure, I'll teach it. I'll teach the count structure. I'm like, you have to wait a 16, then you do the first set with like the cones and the cones and the cones and the cones, then you wait a 16, and then you do the rowboats. I don't know the order of it.
Wait, isn't it down, up,
oh yeah,
up, down, up?
Yeah, that's
cone,
the first set.
Cone, then rowboat,
yeah,
rowboat,
yeah,
and then you do the little
Yeah. And I was watching it. I was doing it, and I just see these batons are like, and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And
I guess they could afford to do batons, I guess, back then.
I don't know,
And
but
have that. I don't know.
the thing is, our coach was never there for parades because he says it's too stressful for him. So we would always have our, like, what?
So just have the teenagers do it.
Yeah, we just had, like, we had, like, helpers that have done guard and had been on the team, but they're just, like, a few years older than us. They don't really know how to teach us or run the whole thing. Like, I wish our coach was there. He's like, I don't want to hear anything about the parade. I don't want to know how, I don't care about how it went, because I know it's going to be a disaster. You can save your story, you can save your stories for later about it.
Because the thing is, with the band director, he did not think about how doing certain things is going to affect the guard. Like, it's easy for someone who played the trumpet 20 years ago in the marching band to come back and kind of play the same chords they played back then in a parade. Teaching someone the mechanics of a flag is kind of difficult.
Yeah. Do you remember the practice in the rain that we did? Or, like, there was puddles everywhere?
That was ridiculous.
We were in the parking lot.
And,
like...
Yeah, and I remember...
They didn't make a spin. Cool. He's like, oh, we're just gonna do a walkthrough of it a few times just to get the feel of it. And, like, we did Ghostbusters, because why not? That was our classic OG song to go to. So, like, we did...
I remember some people in the guard were, like, screaming because, like, I guess they, like, stepped in a puddle or they got wet or something. And I think after we were done marching, like, someone... And I don't know, who was it in the band? I think it was, like, someone, it was the band director or one of our coaches were, like, yelling at people because they were screaming and stuff.
Oh,
like,
my God. Literally, they were on our tail, and they're like, okay, guys, we're gonna make this wide turn. Make sure you go on the inside, and, do all this. And there'll be, like, new people that don't know what's going on, and they'll be, like, walking into each other, and I'd see it. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, the person on the inside, you're supposed to make a wider path. What are you doing? And, like, it was just stressful. Like, they were watching us, and, like, we were just yelling the counts. We were like, left, 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 left. The whole time. And then we stepped in puddles, and we ran the thing at least 4 or 5 times. I don't know why, but we did.
Yeah, my shoes were soaked.
And I don't know why, but we did it multiple times. And then, did we even do it spinning? I don't even think we did spinning at one point.
No,
we didn't.
It was too rainy. That's why our flags were soaked, I think.
Wait, no, we did do it with flags. And then people's flags ended up splashing in the puddles, and it started just whipping and hitting people. That was the funniest part. Because we did have our flags at one point, and then we would have to, like, strip them and go into carry, and then the silk was wet, so you would fling it, and then it would hit people. Or, like, when you're, like, spinning and opening up your flag, it'd just be crazy. That was always the best part. Those are good times. Did she freeze? I think you froze. Samara. Did she freeze? What the? I don't know. I have a podcast I have to do. Why'd you freeze? We're supposed to do this together. She froze. Oh, well, I guess we were having technical difficulties because Samara just froze and the video chat just ended, so I don't know what is going on right now with that. I guess that's what happens when you're recording. There's connection issues. I'm gonna see if I can get her back on the call. If not, I will just talk myself, even though I'm not... Oh, is it working now?
What? I'm sorry, I don't know what the hell happened.
I don't know what happened, but I literally just entertained the people for like 40 seconds. I'm like, what happened? We're supposed to do this together. This is supposed to be our joint podcast. Where did she go? Am I gonna have to do this myself? And I said, oh, we're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I literally, I guess my phone crashed for a few
You
seconds, so
froze.
that
I'm
was
like, oh,
great.
she froze. I'm like, oh, okay. We're having technical difficulties, I guess.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi does that. You
Your
should see
wife.
me in Zoom. It's ridiculous.
I was just like, okay. I don't even. What were we? We were talking about marching band parades. I don't even know what we were talking
Yeah.
about.
Let's move to, I don't know.
We have about like
Well,
5 minutes, so.
all right. Let's just like summarize everything. Let's just generalize everything. I want to say to everyone listening, thank you for going out and voting.
Your
If
your
you did,
your
I
vote
really hope you
matters.
did.
Your vote matters.
It it does, and don't give in to that whole idea that voting doesn't, and that who you vote for doesn't matter either. It does. It all works together, and who you vote for does matter. It does make a statement who you do vote for.
And there's nothing we
And
can do with whatever the result is. We voted, and it's just what our country wants to do. We can't decide or let whoever wins affect us, because we know who we voted for, and whoever wins, we know it's not our fault. We need to not.
that,
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, and you could do so much more than just voting. Voting is just one thing you can do. You can also vote voting is not every 4 years. You can
Mm-hmm.
also vote in your local elections. That happens all the time. Just be involved more with your community. Trust me. It's a lot more useful sometimes to be more involved anyway.
Yeah.
Don't just be involved every 4 years, because that's how you think voting doesn't matter, when you just do it every now and then.
Yeah.
Just be more aware of what's going on around you in general.
Yeah. I mean, I guess on our next podcast, if we get results, we will say the results, I guess, but we still don't have results.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this could probably, they said it could go into Friday. It could take the whole weekend. We don't know. Kind of just want it to be over
Yeah.
with. I just want our state's results, because that's what I want the most. But I just want those 6 states done. Most of them are at like 95, 96% of the voter counted. That's what I checked, and we're at like 45%, and Alaska's at like 38%. But I just want them votes done.
Yeah.
Also, a good
Because 2 million,
yeah.
so much, like 2 million plus people in this state have voted, so it's gonna take some time.
Yeah. Appreciation to all the news broadcasts that actually, they literally were on the air for hours, just talking and
Yeah.
talking. They took their time. They were very professional with it. So shout out to all of them. Because
Yeah, because this is not a normal election year, and they're basically reporting live for hours about something that's not finalized yet.
yeah, I don't even know what they even say or how to talk about it. Even after our podcast, my jaw is like sore. My mouth is sore from talking. I don't know how they do it. They were literally on air for like 5 hours. When I watched it, I was watching from 8 to 11. That was 3 hours. And even after, they were still on. So, yeah. So we basically have about a minute left now. So, we hope you all had a good Halloween. Hopefully, next Halloween we will be back to normal. Fingers crossed, because kind of missed the Halloween experience. And also, at the end of the day, about the election, we can't control what happens. We made our vote, and we'll see what happens with the country once we get our the results, and hopefully this pandemic gets fixed within the next year, or the next few months at least. So our social media. Wait, what are you saying?
I'm just saying, they say, like scientists say, we may be like this for a little bit of 2021. So just don't get your hopes up. Just prepare for 2021 to be a little bit similar to what we are experiencing now, and it may not happen until like mid 2021. That will be a little bit alright.
Yeah.
If we keep following social distancing rules, just stay inside, wear a mask, Yeah.
Wash your hands. Wash them again.
Please wash your hands.
Wash them again. Wash them again. Keep a safe distance. Do all that stuff. We do have social medias. We have Instagrams. My Instagram is Diana.630, and you can plug your Instagram.
My Instagram is at Citizen Samara.
We also have a website. I changed the website name because before it was mysitewix.com, but I actually was able to change it. So now it's dgsuarez63002.com/wix. dgsuarez63002 something wix/wire talk show. Before it was like /my site, but now I actually changed it. It's /wire talk show because it makes it more official now. So like we're official now. Also, I post all of our things to YouTube channel, which is Diana.630, and we appreciate the amount of people that go on our website. I looked at the statistics on it. Apparently, we had, last time I checked, we had 17 people view our site. So we're actually getting numbers. I don't know if it was just me constantly checking on the website, but we do have numbers, and the majority of the people watching are in Plymouth Meeting in the Pennsylvania area. So, I mean, we are local, so yeah, but I'm hoping we get more people and we get a larger audience. We don't really have numbers of views on our thing, but I just know how many clicks we get on our website, and we have about 17, and I can only check about the views on my YouTube channel, which is not a lot, but we're getting there. We're making progress.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we hope that you guys enjoy this podcast, and we will come back next week, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Bye.